We are now joined by tonight's captain, U.S. men's national team midfielder Weston McKennie. We'll begin with Charles Boone from MLSsoccer.com.
Hi, Weston. Thanks for your time today. I wanted to ask you about the midfield balance, the trio, the roles and responsibilities, what you thought worked and maybe what didn't work quite as well in the second half.
No, I think, as many of you guys saw, the first half, we had it pretty under control. We've had elevation training and, we're doing our thing and trying to prepare and, we're working hard throughout the week. So I think it's not so much of what didn't work. I think it was just more a little bit heavy on the legs to maintain pressing like we did in the first half throughout the whole game. But we'll look back at the video and Greg will definitely go over with us, how we can fix that or how we can pick and choose, I guess when we want to stay back and let them play in front and when we want to press. But as far as the team, I think we did pretty well at, maintaining the press, throughout the whole first half and some of the second half.
Next will be Paul Tenorio from The Athletic.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Weston. I wonder what you really want to try to carry over from this game into the Honduras game and also what it'll mean to have Christian coming back into the lineup. Greg talked about just like how difficult it would be to keep him off the field coming off the high of winning a Champions League to come back into the team. What will he add for you guys, and how excited are you to see him coming off that win? Thanks.
No, I think Christian, coming back and him being fit, him, like you said, coming off the high of winning the Champions League. I think it's very important, to also be able to bring that mentality over here because, we're all working towards, what they accomplished the other night. And we're also working to get better. And I think, when someone wins a trophy, it just helps the group realize, that we want to have a winning mentality, that we want to win games and that we want to win titles. We want to win trophies. So I think, him coming back into the group, we'll be very happy to have him back. And I think he'll, be able to share some of his experiences as well and have it rub off on us, I guess.
Next will be Ivis Galarcep from Goal.com.
Weston, one thing Greg mentioned in his presser earlier was about how good teams can be patient with the ball and wait for the openings. And there were stretches today where you guys definitely knocked it around and kind of waited, trying to find that opportunity. How do you feel like that's developing for you guys as a group, that patience? And also, how do you kind of strike that balance where you kind of feel like you want to take people on? You have guys like Serginho and Gio and yourself who, are adept at just going at people.
No, I think it's very important that we find the balance and that we are able to find a balance. Because, teams do it against us. Sometimes, we press, but there's also times where, we can't press and they just knock the ball around. And sometimes it's better to just make a team run side to side. And, at one point, a lane will open. And then that's the time, you can penetrate it. That's the time you can, play the ball through, attack someone one-on-one because the lanes are opening up, the spaces are opening up, and people are getting disconnected. And I think today we had some moments of that as well. But also we had some moments where we maybe have tried to force a pass, but I think that's just, part of the game and learning experience. And like I said before, that'll be something that we'll look over and we'll definitely prepare and take into the next game against Honduras.
Next question comes from Kelly Giannone from Univision.
Thank you, Michael. Hi, Weston. Thank you. We saw today again, Serginho, how devastating he can be on the attacking. And Greg mentioned that you guys did a great game covering sometimes the holes that a player like that can create when he goes too much forward. Can you talk about what you guys, the three in the midfielders, have to do sometimes to cover those spaces and the transitions? Thank you.
No, I think it's it's difficult, but it comes with the position and the territory of that position. We have to, manage how we want to press and how we want to step up. And also whenever we have the ball, we have to also be thinking, defensively as well, and what positioning we can be in, to cover those spaces. And, Greg and the staff have gone over that with us, and we've I think we kind of know and expect, Serginho to take players on. And it's just part of his game. It's what he likes to do. It's what, he's good at and what he's dangerous at. So, it's just something that, the midfielders, we have to take on that role and responsibility, and also the back line, if he does step up, that we cover that space, and vice versa. He's also held responsible for, when he leaves that space, he knows that he has to, make something happen, or he knows that there's a space there. So he has to subconsciously think about that as well.
Our next question, welcome back, comes Simon Board from Sporting News.
Thanks, Michael, and thank you, Weston. Weston, I'm just curious what you're asked to do in midfield with Juventus versus what you're asked to do with the U.S. How different or similar are they in terms of what Greg you do?
Sorry. Honestly, it's similar and different at the same time. I'm with Juventus, and here I'm expected to make runs in behind, and I'm expected to try and win balls and press. I think that's kind of my job, and what's kind of clear. It's just, maybe it's a different lineup, a different formation, but as far as what I'm expected to do, it's pretty similar. No.
Our last question comes from Nico Cantor from CBS Sports.
Okay, Weston. This has been now a process where you have seen growth, we've seen growth, and there have been new players into camp, and you can tell that Greg has put in his style. You can see it onto the field and in your guys' movements and the way that you guys treat the ball. How have you seen this group? How far along do you think it is in meshing together? And evidently the process isn't done, right? There's more room for improvement. What do you think that this team needs to further that progress?
I think the team in general, we need to have more time together. Like any team, whenever you're together for long periods of time, or whenever you get the chances to play with one another, then you understand each other better. Then the connections are built. And as you've seen, we've had players in camp, we've had players out of camp, never at the same time. And so I think just in general, I think once we kind of are able to have that time together, then I think we can also, improve. But the great thing is that, the way we want to attack, the way we want to defend is the same no matter who's on the field. So it's a matter of just like your own chemistry with some of the players, being on point. And I think that's something that, this Nations League will help with. We have, another 2 weeks or 1 week together, and it'll definitely help, in the process of World Cup qualifiers.